So, what's the best way to actually use Instagram to build up a following, to start following people, to develop your niche, to become known within a certain crowd of people? Um, well, the first thing to do is post your photos and images. Obviously, that's the first thing people think of. Well, what am I going to put on my Instagram? Well, you get a picture and you use a caption with your picture, and it has to say pick me," because people see a lot of things in their Instagram feed, and you want to let people know, here's something interesting. So pick me, and the caption should say that, like, amazing sunset, or that kind of thing. If you took a picture of a sunset, you don't want to just put the picture up there and say nothing about it. You want to say something like, what an amazing sunset, or you can't believe what happened right after I took this shot. Yeah, those kinds of things to pique interest and curiosity. Anything that will make people say, "Oh, I should open this and see." People like to put up kind of crazy pictures that you can find on the internet. Maybe an elephant standing on a beach ball. Those kinds of things get people's interest, and they say, "Oh, let me check this. What's going on with that?" And so those are the kinds of things that you want to do. You want to get people's interest peaked, and you want to use captions that will help you do that. And in your captions, you can put emojis. Don't overdo it, don't go crazy, but just something to, something pink or yellow or something to kind of jump out at people. You also want to, of course, get some kind of engagement going. So pick pictures that are designed to get engagement. Get people talking, get people conversing with you. You don't just want people looking at your images and saying, "Oh, that's nice." You want them to say, "Oh, where was this? What happened after that? What did you do? What does that mean? Why is that guy doing that?" You want those kinds of things so that you can respond to those comments and people start getting involved, and you have those conversations going on, and you have an organic flow of conversation that way. So that's what you want to happen in your Instagram account. When you do that, more and more people are going to come to your account and join you. More and more people are going to follow you, look for your images. And if you're using Instagram for business, of course, these are people in your niche that you're going to be selecting to interact with, and they're going to be interested in your niche. Again, if you use something business wise, it could be something like dog training. So you want to have people that have dogs. You want to put pictures of dogs so the people that are opening them are interested in dogs, and then you can say, "Oh, I also wrote an ebook about dog training," that kind of thing. So if you're using it for um, business purposes, that's how you build an Instagram brand. So all your pictures, again, if you're a dog trainer, you want most of them to be about dogs. You want most of them to be about training dogs, or maybe dog training equipment, special collars or whistles, or whatever's involved. And that way people start saying, "Oh, this person is a dog trainer." Now we know who they are, and if we're interested in that niche, if we want to learn more about it, if we're interested in this person's services or products or affiliate offers, this is the person to go to, because we know that they know a lot about dogs, because they're always sharing cool things out here about dogs. You want to know what your followers are interested in the example I just gave you. Know that these people are interested in dogs, in giving that example of dog training. If your business is dog training, maybe doing digital products that help people dog train, or you sell affiliate products about dog training, or you're selling physical products, dog treats, or whatever you're doing, if it's e-commerce or if it's a digital affiliate program, whatever, make sure that you know what your followers want, and then give it to them. Feed them with both images and the captions to the images, like we spoke about just a few moments ago. Make sure that you're giving them images and captions, information, entertainment, anything that's involved in that niche. Make sure that you know that they're interested in that when you pick people that you want on your Instagram. That when you want followers, if there's people that are on your Instagram that are following you, and they apparently have no interest in your niche, maybe they're involved in something totally different than what you're doing. Maybe they're involved in jewelry, and you're trying to keep your crowd to people that are interested in dog training. Unfollow them. So make sure that you know the interests of the people. Spend a little time, see who these people are, go on their Instagram, see what they're doing, and strike up those conversations and get some, again, organic conversation going. And when you do that kind of interaction, you're going to know who you want in your Instagram feed, who you don't, and that way when you're posting things, images and captions, it should be to a crowd that's pretty interested in what you're doing. So just know what your crowd wants and give them what they want, and it should make for a very vibrant Instagram community. Now, going back to the captions, this is not just with Instagram, but even with Twitter and Facebook and YouTube, short captions almost always are best. Now, I know, for instance, in Twitter you can use 140 characters, but there have been a lot of studies done within Twitter itself that shows that people that use only 70 or 80 characters actually get much more activity than people that string it right out to the 140 characters. People like short, people like fast, people like quick. Think of yourself when you're out there looking at things. If you're out there looking at a Facebook feed, do you really want to read 5 sentences, or would you rather read 5 words that pretty much describe the same thing? So you could say something about the sunset with 5 sentences. Oh, what a beautiful sunset. I happened to be driving down the street today and I saw, you could go into all that, but people don't want to read it. You don't, they don't, people don't want to read. They want 5, 6 words that they would much prefer than 5, 6 sentences. So if you could say, what a sunset, watch what happens, and if it's a video or something like that, that will get their interest. You have much more a chance of people stopping and saying, whoa, what's this about, than if you start going on, and they just, you may be saying great stuff, but they're probably just not going to read it. So try to use short captions, punchy, interesting. That will get you more engagement. It will get you more shares. If you get people to stop and look at something you've just posted, they're more likely to share it. They're more likely to comment on it. They'll actually read it probably if this is just a few words. Again, use the emojis. That also captures their immediate attention, but don't overdo it. You've seen posts where people use emojis like crazy. Where I see this a lot is on I'm not thinking of it. It's not Pinterest, but well, whatever. Just don't overdo it. You've seen people who overuse emojis where all you see is emojis, strings of them, different colors and all that. They're obviously desperate, those people, and you don't want to look desperate. You want to look like you're having a good time, that you're out there to just communicate with people, and you're not trying to twist their arm to stop and spend time with you. Always ask questions. I shouldn't say always ask questions, but asking questions is always a good idea, is what I mean to say. People like questions. It gives them pause. It makes them think. If you say, today's a beautiful day, people say, yeah, okay, fine. But if you say, what's the weather like in your town today, or something like that, now they're thinking, and people generally want to answer questions. It's just human nature. When someone asks a question, people generally want to answer, even if it's just in their own mind. They're thinking, oh yeah, what is the weather here today? Or, you say, what's your favorite ice cream? If you ask that question, most people will right away, without even trying to, think about what their favorite ice cream is. So you have gotten their attention. If you just say, my favorite ice cream is strawberry, they're just going to say, big deal, and they're going to keep going. So, questions always give people a little bit more, it encourages engagement. It encourages feedback, like, oh, you like strawberry? I hate strawberry. My favorite is pistachio, or, that kind of thing. So you get people involved more with questions. But don't just ask any questions. The example I just gave you about ice cream is probably pretty pointless unless you're selling ice cream. Going back to the dog training example, ask questions like, who has a puppy out there that just doesn't seem to be getting trained? Questions like that, and people will say, oh yeah, I have a problem, for 3 days in a row he was good, but then he had then he wet the couch or something like that. You get people involved, and then you can answer them and say, yeah, well, when that happens, here's a good thing to do, check this out. So questions that are strategically written so that you get people involved in the conversations that you want them involved in. In this case, you want them involved in dog training questions, so you ask questions that take them there. You can also entertain your followers. I mean, using the dog training still, we would say, get funny dog pictures. That's always fun. Talented dogs that do a dance or something like that. You can have inspiring things, a dog that did some wonderful thing or something ironic. And again, I'm just using dog training for an example. Think of the niche that you're in. Think of what what images, what pictures, what photos you could post, that you could share, that your followers would find funny, that they would say, this is really amusing. I'm glad that person shared it, or wow, they're really talented. They showed us how to do something. I can't believe that person's really good at dog training. They just showed me this great trick on that little 2-minute video. I can't believe it. They really know their stuff. Or inspiring, ironic. Try to do things like that that get people on your side emotionally. And to keep your followers, once people are starting to follow you, you try to tell stories. Today I got a new puppy, and this is what happened. I can't believe this happened. I hope I'm going to be able to get this under control. So I hope I'm going to be able to get this under control is building some intrigue. Like, wow, I wonder. It's also what you call an open loop. If you say, I just got a new puppy today, and they told me he was housebroken, but right away he was, making a mess all over the house. But I tried this thing. I want to see how that works. I'll let you know. That's an open loop. That means you're coming back. It's like a TV show. You watch a TV show, and it's the last minute of the show, and the guy comes in with a gun, and he puts it to somebody's head, and he says, okay, this is it for you. And then the show breaks. And they say, be back on next week, the next episode. And you say, wait a minute, did he shoot him? Did he get away? What happened? That's an open loop. That's how they keep you coming back. How many times have you watched the news or something, and they'll say, oh, amazing snowstorm. Wait till you see the pictures that we have of that terrible snowstorm in Wichita today. You're not going to believe what happened. And they may even show you a tiny, tiny bit of it. And then they break for a commercial. Well, they left an open loop to make sure you come back after the commercial. So, you try to do some of that. And if you tell stories, you get people intrigued. This is going to hold them. This is going to captivate them. That's going to keep them coming back to your channel looking for more on a regular basis. This is how you build, again, an engaged, an interested crowd of Instagram followers. Other things that people like, they like controversy. And if you don't know what's controversial, read any magazine headline. Paper magazine or online magazine, doesn't matter. Look at the Inquirer, look at the New York Times, look at any newspaper or online magazine, anything you can think of that involves the topics that you're interested in, and you read those magazine headlines, and if they're controversial, even if it's not involved in your niche, and I would say the same with trends, anything that's trendy, even if it's not directly involved in your niche, you can maybe sometimes twist it so that it is. Like, it's some famous actor's birthday. Do you know what kind of dog he has? I couldn't believe this. That kind of thing. Now, the famous actor is the trend, but you bring it around to talking about his dog because you're a dog trainer. You see, you're using that trend to bring people into your world. They first stop because they see the name of the famous actor, but then they see you're talking about his dog and they say, oh, wow, he's got a dog? What kind of dog? And you say, I'll show you tomorrow the kind of dog he has. You're not going to believe what I'm going to post up here tomorrow. That kind of thing. So you start using these things. Controversies are sometimes people a lot of times don't like to get involved in controversy because they think everyone's going to start fighting. But people always like a good controversy. People do. Like, guess who I'm going to vote for? And you don't want to do this ridiculously. You don't want to get people really angry and mad. But, light controversy. Like, I always did my dog training with this kind of chain, but this guy who's the master says never use that kind of chain for training because it doesn't work. Can you believe that he would say that? That's a gentle kind of controversial topic within your niche. So, there's all kinds of different ways to do this. The main thing that I'm trying to leave you with is get your images out there, start sharing things with people, start commenting, not just that people are going to come to your Instagram feed, but you're going to go to theirs too. So there's going to be an exchange of ideas, an exchange of conversation, exchange of sharing images and videos. Be active on other people's feeds. That will encourage them to be active on your feed. And the whole idea is to build a bubbly, ongoing community of people within your Instagram community that are going to be interested in what you're doing, that you can share things that you're doing, and they'll pick up on it.